It's going to be very interesting. It will be a new test and a new look for both the Gladiators and the Eternal.
One thing's for sure, it's going to be a lot of 3-3 today. It's going to be a lot of triple tank, triple support. It's going to be a lot of that in the meta in general, but with these two teams, I think more than most.
Yeah, Paris also hasn't made any substitutions yet when it comes to players, so I'm wondering if they are going to mix up their roster and show us some of their depth today.
Maybe.
Now, Gladiators, I think they should be probably on some of these maps going back to the Sombra style of play that proved effective when London ran guard against the Paris Eternal.
I mean, I think the Sombra is huge in the 3-3 meta, of course, but here we go. Starting out on Village, Paris Eternal versus LA Gladiators. Paris makes the point first. It's on the Gladiators to try to knock them off of it. Cruz, of course, going to be a player you're going to want to watch today on that Lucio.
Yeah, the May coming out for soon as well. And this is important because it's going to be hard for them not to get isolated just like that. Two members of the Gladiators outside the wall.
I mean, Roar caught off as well, eliminated. Now the Gladiators fighting short-handed here. Hydration getting a little bit low. Paris trying to collapse on him. They're going to settle for taking the point first, and I think that was smart for the Gladiators to back off there.
I think the Gladiators need to make some sort of change right now because trying to play without the May into this is going to be difficult. Even if you have that speed boost, you still are going to get bisected on these entry points to the control by that May wall. They're trying to get in right now. They're trying to bait the wall out. That's why they fainted, but they're not going to make it happen.
Split again, but this time Roar gets the first kill. Both Reinhardt's going down on the team here. They're trading blows left and right. Surefour gets frozen. Can they finish him off? It looks like they do have to put Soon in the ice block for the moment anyway. Hydration, though, under threat. Finzi finishes him off. Finzi getting a lot of kills at the end there. And Paris manages to hold, but I think you're right. The reason why you run the May on this point is with the narrow points of entry to the actual point itself, you can really easily split a team up with that May wall.
And there's two ways you can deal with this. A lot of teams will play Pharah here on Village to shoot rockets in and try and poke them out. But Gladiators could feasibly also switch over to an Ana right now. That way they could anti-heal with a Bionade into the point, and then they wouldn't matter as much if they're missing a couple of their members.
Sure enough, they got options, but for now, no changes here. Nearly losing hydration as they approach the point. Gladiators need a big team fight win. They need it now. Gonna be the rally from Nico on Paris. As they can prepare, Gladiators waiting the armor out. After that, Brigitte ultimate is down. They're probably trying to go in. There we go. Roar trying to get in. Oh, bigger shatter, but the Maywall just in time. They can't quite capitalize. Gives Paris the opportunity to drop that sound barrier. Gladiators using their own Lucio out there as well, but now they're caught up in the May ultimate, and that is going to be another win for Paris, it looks like, in this team fight. Man, what a Maywall. That absolutely saved the Eternal.
Soon is performing at a very high level this season. His Zarya has been very good, but now he's coming out with a different hero pickup on the May, and Gladiators, they needed to make an adjustment. There's Shaz switching over to the Ana. Now, I think they got greedy.
Though, isn't it?
They wanted the trance on that last fight, so they were unwilling to switch, but I think this was the play they had to make, and they're not even going to get there, Doa.
That's the thing. I mean, you make that swap, but it's a little bit too late. Paris Eternal taking that first point with ease, maybe surprising Gladiators a little bit with that May. But you shouldn't be that surprised. You see it on that point so much. We'll see what the Gladiators have to respond with right after this. Welcome back to Nepal. Paris, one matchup. We're going to Shrine. You and I were talking about the possible Pharah swap that Gladiators chose not to do in the first point. What do you think that would have given them?
I think you have to play both sides of the point in Village if you're going to do that, so you can force the May wall. Gladiators were still trying to come for one angle, and what that means is it says that you're expecting the May player to make a mistake, which is not the way to play that point.
Well, Soon's not going to do that. Cruz lurking above. You see both Lucios bouncing around on the walls, looking for those chances to knock the tanks away, or to knock the tank into their own team, too. On board with Cruz now. Ben Best down. They did get that separation they were looking for here, and it's a good start for Gladiators. That's what they were kind of looking for on that last one. You isolate the tanks, usually the Reinhardt, and you kind of roll your way to a victory off of that one.
Yeah, Soon actually might be staying alive here, which is huge, going to keep a lot of that Zarya charge. So not the worst case scenario here for the Paris Eternal. They're only going to give up about 20%. They're regrouping now. They're going to be coming around the flank once again, everybody. Moving up here.
Gladiators a little bit ahead in ult economy, but if Paris plays this one out slow, they might be able to take a fight with something remotely similar, but
I mean, it's just about a little bit of poking right now from Paris, and they'll be in a very good situation as well. The ult economy is about even, about a 10% difference.
It's going to be the rally coming in from Gladiators. Gladiators hit the go button here. They're getting aggressive. Now the Graviton Surge gets eaten by Void. Paris loses a big tool to try to turn this fight around, but they do kill Roar. So an opportunity here. Hydration down, and it looks like on the back of that Transcendence, Paris able to keep people alive enough to bully their way onto the point. That grab getting eaten, though, that was a scary moment for Paris, but they're able to turn it into a win anyway.
I mean, that's the thing about Paris that we saw against the London Spitfire. They are so disciplined about their disengages. The rally came in because the Gladiators were trying to push a very small window of ultimate advantage that they knew they were going to have. Paris doesn't get baited into it. They give up a few more percent points on the control point in exchange just to take it in the end and actually win that fight via the disengage.
Sure enough, Surefour on the verge of getting his grab. He has it now. Zarya ultimate ready to go as they think about dropping down from the high ground here. Ben Best on the Paris side needs a good Earth Shatter out of this one, but they do have a couple ultimates to utilize. Surefour going in, doesn't want to get his grab eaten. Paris, though, just trying to buy as much time as they can. Oh, and another grab eaten. 2 grabs in a row, 1 for each team. But that doesn't matter. Gladiators going in anyway. They're going to get soon, and they're going to cut off Ben Best as well. Earthshatter not even really needed as Roar doesn't connect with anyone, but the fight is won for Gladiators already. That's kind of ridiculous that we just saw 2 grabs get eaten, but the team that lost the ultimate won the fight.
Yeah, and also, you know, when we see Soon and other Zaryas falling first, I've been looking at a lot of data in this league, and right now, if your Zarya is the first death in a fight, statistically, you only win that fight about 5.9% of the time because you lose a lot of your bubbles, obviously your shields, and a lot of the damage in the triple tank, triple support is coming out of the Zarya. So losing her first is by far the worst hero to lose first in an engagement.
Very true. Soon now with another grab. Are we going to get 1 out of 3 grabs? Come on, man. Don't get eaten. There we go. It goes off anyway. They got Gladiators locked up by the pillar. Finzi with the self-destruct. Grabs 3. And that's exactly what you want if you're the Paris Eternal. Finally, the Big Bang combo comes together. We should say bigger bang, really. And Paris gonna reclaim the point. Gladiators at 91%, so they are 1 fight win away from possibly tying things up on Nepal, but Paris with the advantage for now.
And they're gonna keep that advantage for a little bit. Gladiators use a lot of their ult economy in order to lose that last fight. It's been a little bit weird, as you say, with the teams that have gotten their grabs eaten, winning the fight so far.
Yeah. Graviton Surge, all part of your balanced breakfast here at the Overwatch League.
Delicious. I love black holes in the morning.
That's right. There you go. It's going to be an Earth Shatter for Paris Eternal. Going to try to knock some people down on the stairs, but Gladiators able to back off and stay alive through that one. Roar at about half health, though. Needs to be careful. Hip's got the Discord Orb on him. And extra damage. Waiting to use that Transcendence. Now as the grab comes in from Gladiators, that's exactly what it's going to do. They lose Soon first anyway. Ben Best soon to follow it. That's going to be a fight the Gladiators will take pretty easily. Like we said, if that Zarya goes down first, that's the team that's probably not going to come out on top in the fight. We're seeing it again right now. 99% for Paris.
Oh, they got Finzi actually before he can remech and cruise before he can touch the point.
That's rough, man. It's going to be Gladiators probably claiming things on Shrine soon with the switch over to Sombra to try to keep things alive, but they do find him. Translocates out, but he at least forces overtime, and there goes Ben Best, not even able to approach the point. So it seems with Paris filtering in here 1 hero at a time, this point's going to go the way of the Gladiators.
It sure does seem that way, Toa. Gladiators should be able to hold this one out, even as Paris somehow is keeping this one alive with the sound barrier.
They use that sound barrier. It's all a matter of time, though, and Gladiators will tie things up here on Nepal.
Nicely done by the Gladiators. That's just a little percent that they managed to eke out at the very beginning turned out to be very consequential for them. Paris tried to back off and regroup as fast as possible, but getting that point first is such an insane advantage in control.
Yeah, true enough. Ben Best, I mean, what do? You got to walk up and do something, right?
Nothing you can do, really. Shaz just cleaning it up, and you know, Shaz and Big Goose, I think, have been the outstanding players here for the LA Gladiators so far.
Always feels good when you're the Zenyatta player and you get those open shots with the right click where they're not hiding behind the corner, there's no shields in the way. You're like, all right, I know I can land this one. Feels good.
One thing about Shaz, too, is he's actually number 2 in the league right now when it comes to damage amplification off of Discord Orb. And really what that tells us is that the shot calling and the target selection of the Gladiators is on point. They're maximizing the amount of damage they can get from that ability.
Poor thing, ooh, roar down early. Good start for Paris as they kind of roll through Gladiators without any trouble. Goodbye, Void. Hope he's got skis on because he's got a long mountain to go down. Paris is going to take the point first here. But you're absolutely right, though. Going back to talking about Shaz and that damage boosted, I mean, that's kind of a tip for anybody that plays Zenyatta out there. It's like the most important thing you can do is in comms, in your rank games, is tell people who you've got the Discord orb on.
Yep,
as a Zenyatta main, like that's huge, man. It's easy for your team to follow up on that. Unless they're all playing, you know, Torbjorn or something. What can you do? Gladiators trying to approach the point again. Paris building their control percent pretty rapidly here. Benbest low. Ooh, they got to keep him alive. That's vital. Goes back in now. Got the shield again. Right onto hydration. They're going to be able to change that into a kill. Looks like Gladiators will be held at the door, more or less. And the chase comes in from Paris. So that's going to be Paris just with firm control of the point for now.
I mean, Paris, you can tell how impressive Paris' comms are by that fight. Benbest backs off to the point, comes in at 50% HP because that's soon calling for the bubble right there. So he knows he's going to have that protection, and that bubble will give him enough time to get healed off of the Inspire from Nico.
Yeah.
So that's just really good limits and understanding of how to play in this metagame.
Soon with the Graviton Surge. Paris Eternal, look at those ults, man. They are way ahead of the Gladiators right now. LA will have some coming online soon, but this should be Paris's fight here. If they can do it, we'll see. Rally comes in, soon waiting for an opportunity. Hydration, giving his team that extra armor, but again, you know, when you see that rally come in, you just back off and kind of let it run out. And Paris, as soon as that armor starts to go away, all over the Gladiators. 2 easy kills. And they're going to hold this one. Man, Gladiators looking like they might just get shut out here on Sanctum unless they come up with something big real soon.
And Paris just abused Roar's jump cooldown very hard. They forced him to jump onto the point to at least start the contest, and then they just drove a wedge between him and the rest of his team. Hydration gets booped off of the map while rallying by Cruz. So big play there by Cruz to deny a lot of that armor.
We go, Grab gets eaten by Void, all right. Soon not making anything happen with that ultimate. Now the self-destruct comes in for both teams. It's gonna give Gladiators an opportunity to at least get through the doorway, try to get to the point right now. Another Grab gets eaten, are you kidding me? 4 out of 5 grabs, I think it is, on this map. Insanity. Paris Eternal scrambling to try to hold this one. They do have the sound barrier, they do have Benbest with the primal range, but Roar striking right back again. Gladiators doing everything they can, and
Roar with
they are coming up big in this fight. Cruz can't quite stop it. Gladiators finally flip it. Wow. Insanity, man.
A lot of environmental kills so far on this map. 4, I believe, so far between the tanks and Cruz. And that's going to mean the Gladiators are able to actually clutch it out in the end. Paris has not been playing the choke point. In these defenses, they've been playing pretty passively and waiting for Gladiators to come to the point first. That time it doesn't work out. They set themselves up to get booped straight into the pit by Roar.
Paris Eternal trying to get back in and win this map now. They can be patient with this. Gladiators have a lot of percentage they need to build before they're a real threat here. Paris not wasting any time. They're going to have to dodge that self-destruct, though. Goes over the wall. No kills out of that one, though, but Vinci does get pushed back. It's going to be a kill onto hip, so at least for the Gladiators, it's split Paris up enough, and that's Benbest leaping to his doom. Kind of a quicker reset there, I guess, than walking all the way back and waiting for his team.
Paris is very decisive. When they decide to reset or retreat, they almost always can do it nearly perfectly as in unison. So they're listening to their shot calls. That means they get a little bit more time.
My question is, who in the world puts a pit like this in their sanctum? Like, that is just, that's just a safety hazard. Oh, Big Goose on high. Looks like he's about to fly south through the winter. Coming down, going for the boop, doesn't quite get it. You gotta watch out for that guy, though. Big Goose always lurks above. He's like the Batman of the Overwatch League. Shaz gets caught with that self-destruct, though. Chance here for Paris. They're coming. Oh, no! No, Hip gets knocked off by Roar mid-transcendence. And Gladiators, they're holding this, man. They're almost at 90% here. Paris, if you are the Eternal, you are sweating right now. There goes Soon. Roar finally taken out, but Gladiators still coming on top with this fight. Another grab comes in. 97%, 98 for Gladiators. Are you kidding me? Can they actually do it? Overtime forced. If they can just keep Paris out, they can win the map. What a comeback that would be. Can they get there? They can't. That's going to be Gladiators coming up big. Wow, what a map for LA.
And credit to Roar for winning Sanctum. Multiple environmental eliminations on crucial targets, including a trancing Zenyatta to really pull out that win for LA.
That is huge. What a crazy map. We're in for a good series. We'll see you on the next map right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.